so funny. I mean, it might not, pardon my coffee maker, as it gurgles the last few drops of coffee goodness right over there. I don't know if it's 9 times out of 10, but at least half the time before I go live, I, uh, I don't know. I sit around, I prepare, I get ready, I wonder what I'm going to say. I think, do I want to go live or should I or shouldn't I or what have you? And then again, and sometimes I'll talk audibly to myself. And hold on here. My coffee maker's beeping, meaning it's finished, meaning we've got good news. But anyway, sometimes I'll speak aloud to myself. And sometimes my thoughts are so clear that I imagine I'm speaking aloud. But either way, before I push live, at least half the time I say, well, let's just push live and see what happens. And that's what I did this morning. And I was wondering about the lighting, and I was wondering about the coffee noise, and I was wondering about, was I ready? Had I cleared my throat, woken up completely? And the answer was I probably hadn't cleared my throat or woken up completely or scratched my back or, oh, that feels so good. I don't know. I don't know if I believe in reincarnation. This is going to be a kind of weird, gross story, but it's not even a weird or gross story, but it's just what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to come back if as a bear, as a huge grizzly bear, and I'm going to be walking through the woods, and I'm going to find good trees, and I'm going to put my back up to it, and I'm going to rub my back up and down the bark. Because if as good as it feels to the human, it must feel even better to the giant grizzly bear out in the mountains. But good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Thank you all for joining. It's fun doing this. I just started doing this again the other day, and we'll see what happens. Hello, where am I from? I am from Naperville, Illinois, which is a town of about 150,000 just west of Chicago, about 35 miles west of Chicago. So thank you all for joining. Vegas, Elena, Poppy, John, Mr. and Mrs. G, Christina, that dude, Thomas. I like that dude. I hope that dude follows me. He's got a good name, that dude. Hey, look at that. Check out that dude. But anyway, yeah, good morning. It's Monday morning. It's about 6:30 a.m. It is March. Got to get the month right. Obviously, I haven't fully woken up and got my facilities going. But it's Monday morning, again, 6:30 a.m., March 25th. Happy Monday. Again, this is Coffee with Ken. I know you don't hear it nearly enough, but I'm proud of you. Keep it up. Oh, hey, Austin, that's the sweetest thing. I do a lot of videos about the need for encouragement. I don't know if Austin even knows who I am, but he's throwing out random chunks of encouragement to me and probably anybody that's reading it. And I think that's neat. I think if the world had more encouragers and less critics, we'd be a lot better place. So thank you, Austin, for saying that. Hey, Not Original said it's her husband's 30th anniversary. Happy anniversary to you and the hubby. Somebody's saying happy marvelous Monday. Well, we got such a fun. Hope I have an amazing week. We got such a positive crew at 6:30. The last few days I've been going live at 5:30 in the morning because I've been waking up real early and kind of wandering around the house, wondering what to do before the rest of the house wakes up, and going live early. Today I slept in. Had a real busy night last night. You want to know what I did? I'll tell you. I want to drink my coffee. Can I just take a quick sip? Can I take a sip? Okay. Yeah, I don't even need to tell you what the show's about. It's about me talking and sharing life, but it's also about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I hope you have a nice hot cup of coffee in front of you, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Cheers to us. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't get into my useless story about what I did last night before taking my first sip of coffee. For those that are just tuning in, I usually do this long, bloated introduction telling you what the show's about. And somebody told me not to slurp. I might do it again. Oh, yeah. Ask and ye shall not receive. But yeah, so glad I skipped the long intro and went right into the coffee drinking because it feels so good. And again, I slept in on this Monday morning. And last night, I'll tell you what, I occasionally will do movie reviews on my show. Not intentionally. I don't really have a plan for my show. I think most viewers find it kind of inspirational, if you will. I'm telling the story of a guy that screwed up a lot in life and had a lot of struggles and keeps pulling himself back off the mat and getting to it the next day with a smile on his face. And I'll share stories about sobriety or relationships or weather or cleaning the house or dogs or financial ups and downs or you name it, I'll talk about it. Uh, but I like to talk about the movie I watched the night before as well. And I did watch a movie last night, and I was up later than I usually am. For anybody new, I got two little babies that exhaust me during the day most days. And when I lay them down to bed at 6:30 or 7 or whatever, it feels so good to relax and unwind. And sometimes I'll drift off to sleep at 8:30. But last night I went a little crazy. And I've been wanting to watch a movie over the last few days that I'd seen a little bit about, starring Jake Gyllenhaal. And it's called Roadhouse. And I got the chills just saying it. I've done entire videos on the original Roadhouse starring Patrick Swayze, which came out in like 1987. And was a good movie, but it was almost cheesy and so 80s. I don't know, it's almost getting better with age, if you will. But this was a remake of the movie, again starring Jake Gyllenhaal as a former UFC fighter. And I'll tell you what, this dude got in shape for this movie role. And instead of setting some bar like in Kansas or wherever the original was set, this was set in the Florida Keys, so there was some beautiful shots of the Florida Keys and summer weather and the ocean crashing. Hello, Jesse. Hello, two-girl mama. And I would tell you what, I would strongly recommend it. It's not, I mean, there was some unbelievable scenes and some kind of cheesy scenes, but I almost think that was done intentionally to stay true to the original. But Jake Gyllenhaal's really, I might be developing a man crush on him. He's good looking. He was in ridiculously good shape. He fought like nobody's business. And I don't know. I think I like him as an actor, and I've liked a lot of his movies. I just, again, maybe developing a man crush on him. I hope my original man crush, Mark Wahlberg, doesn't get jealous. I was going to say I'm straight, and I don't care if anybody's gay or straight or what anybody does in their private life, but I continue to get an occasional man reaching out to me, and it's funny getting hit on by a man. And I'm glad I'm not a woman, just because you'd have to get hit on by men a lot in your life. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. I don't understand what people are doing. Maybe they're too shy to be direct or what have you, but they skirt around the issue and they'll send a message and say, hey, is it all right that I'm gay? And I don't even know who this person is. And I go, yeah, I don't care. You do you. And they'll go, what does that mean? What do you think? I don't know. I don't think a heck of a lot. Again, you do you. I don't care. I don't even know who you are. But I think they want me to start up a relationship and be excited to me that they release their sexuality to me. And I don't know what they want, but I think it's kind of funny. And yeah. But anyway, let's drink a little more coffee. So it's Monday morning. Oh yeah, I don't know if I finished my story about the movie, but I'd strongly recommend you see it because again, I think it's good, and can't imagine what work these actors go through to get in shape for their movie roles. I mean, this guy was ripped. I mean, he was ripped. I'm sure they have bunches of money to hire trainers and do the proper dieting and what have you. But the work involved at the gym's the same, whether you got $1 jillion or not. The work to do to get your body in that sort of conditioning is the same. How many cups of coffee are you on now? This is my very first. This is my very first. That's why I'm starting my show a little slow and sluggish. Oh, I did have a thought for you. I have a dog named Holly, and before I go live, I usually take her out, and we're out in the yard. I'm evaluating the weather, looking up at the stars, smelling the air. I'm becoming a dog myself, or maybe my reincarnated bear. And I was out there and I was thinking, and I'm on TikTok. I repurpose these videos. Hello, Julie Flanagan. Thank you for joining. I almost sent you a wish of thanks for liking my videos. I'm doing this live on TikTok right now, and I'm also on other social media platforms. And I started the vision of Coffee with Ken as a tool to inspire and a tool to as a career or a vocation or doing a talk show. Kind of grew 2.5 years ago when I discovered TikTok, and I thought it was the neatest thing. And the audience was growing, and the algorithm was neat, and the content was cool. And but I also was sharing my videos to other social media platforms that I didn't think had the growth potential as this one did. And while I was out smelling the air and looking up at the sky and feeling the breeze, I almost started like felt like I was cheating on a girlfriend as I was looking at YouTube and looking at Instagram and wondering, hey, they're pretty sexy too. And they're growing really quickly. And for some reason, despite all the videos I do here on TikTok, it seems the platform has decided that I'm not their flavor of the day. And they don't put my videos out there too often. And I'm not saying woe is me, I'm just sharing a story. My average, even with 10,000 plus subscribers, my average video gets seen maybe 250 times. And I'll put it on other social media platforms and they'll be seen thousands of times and they'll get a ton of interaction. And my page is growing. Pages are growing really, really quickly on the other social media platforms. But for some reason here on TikTok, they've stopped showing my videos, and it kind of made me sad a little bit because again, I thought this was the one. I thought this was the one. I was going to be committed long term to this platform, and it was going to be the one that I was a partner with and help me grow Coffee with Ken and my audience and my message. And I guess in life, I mean, I'm not saying maybe not with relationships, but I think, and I talked about this yesterday, you got to keep your eyes open and your options open as far as life and business and, I don't know, restaurants you go to and gyms you try out. And I don't know, I don't go to bars anymore, but bars you try because you never know what's going on the other side. And just because there's an expression that says the grass is always greener on the other side, sometimes maybe it is greener on the other side. And sometimes you got to try out other sides to figure it out and figure out what works best for you. Because honestly, if I would have stayed here and not been posting my videos elsewhere and my page would have gone flat for the last month like it has, I might have said my content's getting bad or my stuff sucks or I suck or whatever negative thoughts I could think of. Well, thank you, Sean, for saying that. That's sweet. And Nan, thank you so much for following the live creator. Starman asked coffee or tea. It's coffee. The show is called Coffee with Ken. I'd feel somewhat disingenuous if I was drinking tea. I like tea a fair bit. My mother grew up in Scotland, and we used to drink a lot of tea at home. I have fond memories of it. And the little tea bags. I usually put sugar in it at home, or I used to as a kid. I like it. I don't know if I liked it dark or light, but I think I liked it sweet. And but I don't know. There's something about coffee. If I have a cold, I'll still go to coffee, or if I'm not feeling, or excuse me, I'll still go to tea because I think it's therapeutic and it's good for the throat. Uh, well, thank you, Sean. Sean said you always bring good perspectives, always stay positive and glass half full. Have a great day. Sean, thank you for saying that, and you have a great day as well. PD shared the live. I'm supposed to encourage more viewers to share the live. I don't know how long I'm going to talk. I'd feel bad if all of you were sharing my live. And then all of a sudden I said, I don't have anything else to say. I'm going to sign off. Hello from Washington. Donna, is that Washington State? I guess if you live in Washington, D.C., you probably don't say hello from Washington, do you? If you're saying hello from Washington, would you be saying that from the state? I would guess you're coming from the state, Donna, and you can please answer that. Uh, Ryan just said, good morning, Ken. Haven't seen my TikToks in a while. That's what I'm talking about, Ryan. I still am posting like 5 and 6 a day, and nobody's seeing them. It's hurting my feelings. I'm glad you tuned into one of my lives. And maybe I can stay here and use TikTok as live, a source of live, because it's always been pretty good with my lives. I got, I don't know, 36 people watching right now. And I tend to get a lot of interaction when I do lives on TikTok. But just when I post videos, it's almost too quiet. I'm not seeing many of my favorite people anymore. Well, Laura, thanks for saying that and knowing I'm not alone. How do you get your kids to sleep so late? Lucky today, not original. And Greg Plitt said Planet Fitness is in some hot water. I wonder why that is, Greg. I hope I hope they don't shut their doors. I've been singing the praises of Planet Fitness. I think I've been very pleased with that gym. Yeah, well, Ryan, thanks for hopping on. Donna said no. I forget what Donna was answering to. Maybe she's from Washington, D.C. after all. But anyway, I'm going to drink a little more coffee. Greg, if you have any answer to the Planet Fitness rumor you started just now by saying they're in some hot water, I wonder if that's a play on words or, you know, because politics. Huh, I'm gonna have to search it up. It's ironic because I've been working out at Planet Fitness for about 7 months, getting in pretty darn good shape. Go about 3 times a week on average. Good morning, Queen Kelly. Going to the gym about 3 times a week on average, and getting in really good shape. I'm 55 years old, and I got some aches and pains that I wouldn't have had at 25. But physically, I'm almost can lift as much weight as I ever could, which is surprising. I would have thought, you know, I would have lost it all by now. I would have lost it all. And I'd be like some old. It's cute, and I say that mockingly, but it's cute. I saw this little, I don't want to call her a little old lady because that sounds so demeaning, but she was a sweet little lady, and she was doing these curls on this machine, and she was probably mid to upper 70s at least. And I came up to her the other day and said, hey, you look great. And she was so excited and said, thank you. And told me a little bit of her story. And it turned out she'd lost 107 pounds. And she probably weighed about $1.25 at this time. So she probably lost about half of her body weight. And I had no idea that she'd lost weight. I just was impressed that there was this sweet older woman doing curls. And I think she was flattered and felt good. And I think it's really neat. Yeah, there's some young, big, muscly people there as well. But their motto is no judgment and no critics. And I like that. And it feels good. And not everybody there knows what they're doing exactly, but everyone's trying to get a little bit better. And if everyone's trying to get a little bit better, you're in a group of people trying to get better, you're probably going to find yourself trying to get better as well. Lots of people are dropping their memberships. Why is that, Ryan? I'll have to look. And I don't talk too much about politics. Now I'm curious. I'm going against one of the big, no matter what, you can get either side of the political aisle, you can get yourself in trouble with. And I try and do, I'm taking a dangerous path, walking down the middle of that political aisle and seeing both sides and being okay and understanding both sides' political views and kind of hoping people come to the middle, come to me, and look at people as people and as not no longer as adversaries. Because I think, I don't know, in the 2000 or 20 around 2020, 2021, 2022, the country was so divided and so nasty. And I think I was divided and I was nasty. And a few years back, I don't know if it's because I turned off my cable or turned off the news, started losing that yucky feeling inside, what have you. But when Ryan says a lot of people are dropping their memberships, it always makes me assume that somebody was offended politically or on one side or the other of the aisle, and that side is, I don't know, canceling their memberships is to punish them. But again, I'll have to look it up and find out and maybe do a video about it if I have any thoughts. At Penfest in Alaska, lady confronted. Oh, Ryan said there was a transvestite shaving the ladies in the women's locker room at Planet Fitness in Alaska. Lady confronted. Yeah, Nan says she can't watch the news. Yeah. Well, Ryan, as strange of a situation as that is, and as uncomfortable as that is, and if I was a woman walking into a woman's locker room and there was somebody shaving at the mirror, I wouldn't. I'm on the woman's side, but I'm certainly not going to drop my membership that I'm very pleased with here in Illinois because of one unfortunate situation. There's unfortunate situations, all the time, and yeah, so I'm certainly not going to drop my membership. Nan says she can't watch the news. You're better off without it. You're better off without it. For a while, I was almost going cold turkey on news. But again, I stay home a few days a week with my two little babies I have. And sometimes the monotonous drone of Elmo's voice on the TV makes me long for a little adult conversation. So I'll pop on the news and see if anything's happening around the world. And, it's probably not time well spent, but it's kind of a guilty pleasure for me. And I'll turn it off after 5 minutes so I don't get fully dragged into political mudslinging and back and forth and the ugliness that can be on the news. They stopped the lady's member, says she posted on the story on the internet. Oh, well, that's strange, Ryan. I'm still going to work out there. But that's strange. Yeah. But I don't know how much I have for you today. How much do I have for you today? I'm running low on coffee. I don't like to run low on my coffee. I got a full pot over there. But it is almost 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, somebody asked how we keep the kids sleeping so late. It's spring break this week, and I live here with my 3 stepkids and my 2 little babies. And the 3 stepkids are all on spring break, and they're going to be sleeping probably till whenever it is they're sleeping till. But I'm fortunate that the babies are sleeping because they're usually up, 5:30 or 5:45, and I usually creep up there. And good thing I'm working out because they're 3 years old and almost 1.5, and I'll pick them up and hoist them up and then go to the stairs and double check to make sure I've got the first step all figured out so I don't do a horrid tumble. You know what I'm talking about. I'll work my way down and I'll shut all the gates and I'll drop them on the couch and my day will begin. And my day's going to be beginning here shortly. And I'm ready for it. I'm ready for this Monday. I'm ready for my day. I'm ready for another cup of coffee. And I feel thankful that I was able to hop on live and that the house stayed quiet for me to go live a little bit on this Monday morning. And I'm going to try and go live most mornings as I'm having my first cup of coffee. For a while, I was doing a first sip video where I did it taped. But I always have, it's nice having a little interaction. Thanks for the rose, Julie Flanagan. Your roses will. Somebody, I forget his name right now. There's a guy that hops on, and he must be some like billionaire benefactor. And he hops on, and he sent me, I don't know, was it like a dragon, baby dragon or something like that? And it took over my screen for a moment and flashed light. And after you get off the live, you see the gifts that are given you. And it was worth 2,000 diamonds, which meant the guy paid $20 to send me that gift. And thank you to that dude. Couldn't believe it. That's very generous, and I appreciate it as well. So, Julie, thank you for the rose, and I appreciate you guys for joining on this Monday morning. And again, I'm going to try and go live for my first coffee if I'm not on, but sometimes it'll be at 5:30, sometimes it might be at 6:30, sometimes it might not happen because sometimes life gets in the way. But I know the more consistent I am, the more my audience grows, and the more fun the lives are because I see some regular names and. Uh, see some regular names, and I don't know, it always feels good having people hop on that know the story a little bit. Hey, Greg Plitt. You made me laugh, Greg. I'm trying to sign off, and Greg Plitt said something funny. He said it's kind of cheap for a billionaire benefactor. All right, well, maybe, but I don't know that he's really a billionaire. I'd have to be a billionaire to be giving strangers on TikTok $20, I think. I don't know, maybe. Never been a billionaire. I was a millionaire for one day. One day. I kid you not. Exactly one day. I had a brokerage account, and my brokerage account hit $1 million for one day. And then it ran into retreat and hide, and now I'm broke. So I'm not saying that because I think the money was cool. But I remember having a goal of having my account hit $1 million by the end of the year, and it did. And I said, if it hits $1 million by the end of the year, I'm going to do this or that with it. I never did this or that, and God punished me and took it all away. But I don't think it was a punishment. I think it was an opportunity to learn a lesson. And again, had I continued to go to the moon, my life would be so different right now, and I don't honestly want my life changing a whole heck of a lot. I mean, I'd like to get a little better tomorrow and feel a little more comfortable tomorrow, and strive for better things tomorrow. But I'm doing that today, and think that's a good lesson. You don't have to have the fancy car, the fancy house to try and get a little better. And I think trying to get a little better and being a little better and heading in the right direction is the key to happiness. So, at least I think so. That's why I'm smiling. That and the fact that I got 3/4 of a pot of coffee there waiting for me, going, Ken, come drink me. Thank you so much for following the live creator. Hello, Abdul. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you all hopping on this Monday morning. It's so hard for me to get off my lives as people are hopping on. Because again, it always feels kind of rude. It's like people coming into a party, and I'm going, all right, see you later. Nice seeing you. Wish we would have had time to talk, but we don't. Lucky you can have coffee. I am fortunate that I can have coffee. I'm not sure why I'm so fortunate that I can have coffee, but I'm appreciative of my coffee. I'm thankful for my coffee. I think it's important that we live in gratitude. And again, I used to think, and I still do, a lot of times when I'm waking up, my mind won't be in a super positive place. And I force myself to think of some things I'm grateful for. And after I think of two or three, it becomes fun and my mind goes quickly. And I think about the clean clothes and the warmth that I have in the house and the blanket and the sun that's coming up through the window or what have you. But if you struggle, here's my little gratitude hack. And you don't even have to be spiritual to say this. But if you're struggling to think of anything you're grateful for, and you might feel a little funny if you're agnostic, and if you're an atheist, you'll certainly feel funny. But just take a deep breath and go, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. And you don't even have to have anything specific you're thankful. I think the key to happiness, besides the being on the right path, is just having gratitude for something. And again, I've done that the last couple days, and that always feels good. It's almost like combining gratitude and a prayer into one. And those are two habits I've relied on heavily to get me through some really hard times. I started writing a book. I didn't really start. I wrote a page, but walk of a million miles is starts with one step. So, but I started the page about 2 weeks ago, and last summer was a particularly challenging time. And I know Julie, if she's still watching, helped me get through some of those times, and dealt with some challenges that I haven't been totally revealed all of. But again, I got through it, through some really hard times, and it was by gratitude and prayer when all else failed. So if you're struggling out there, and I know I get some people, and I know I post a lot of these shorts, reels, and TikToks later on, and various social media platforms. If you're struggling out there and feeling no hope and feeling alone, know you're not alone, first of all, and say a prayer, find something to be grateful for, and keep moving forward and keep putting one foot in front of the other. And if you don't even know what your next step is, just take a step and go get yourself some more coffee, or go brush your teeth, or the smallest step, I think, sometimes is the most important. And I think all of us, I know for me, I figure out what I'm going to do in my housing status, or my relationship status, or my career status, or what am I going to do about this? And it's some huge, huge, huge thing. And a lot of times I know I put so much pressure to figure out the huge things. And the key to figuring out the huge issues in life is taking that next step and moving forward with faith and hope and positivity, and moving forward. And sometimes the answers aren't clear today, but if you move forward today and tomorrow and next week, suddenly the issue that you thought was life-shattering today doesn't seem so important in 2 weeks, or you have an answer for it, or it's resolved itself. So if you're out there struggling right now, again, I'd encourage you to find something to be grateful for. Say a little prayer if you care to, and keep moving forward, and do your best to smile today on this Monday morning. And I'm going to have one more sip of coffee. I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to go fill up some hot coffee and go get my little babies down. They're like wriggling little, I don't know what their wriggling little things are, but they're wriggling little things. And I'm going to bring out a yogurt, and they're both going to go, as I spoon them yogurt. I'm going to bring them out a banana, and they're going to go, as I shove bananas down their throat, and get orange, and maybe get some cereal and start my day. Hey, Joe, I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful for today. And hello, Donna from Kentucky. I'm just signing off, but please follow my page. And I want to thank you all for joining. I want to thank you for being part of my journey that is Coffee with Ken. I so appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you're excited about your week. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.